Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katie. Today we're going to talk about lowering our blood pressure. Now, yoga is very good for lowering blood pressure because it encourages our body to go into a deep state of relaxation. This helps our nervous system calm down, and it also gives us a feeling of well-being. Now, the well-being is caused by getting rid of antioxidants and also reducing the stress hormone cortisol in our body. So let's focus on those postures that are going to help lower our blood pressure today. Let's take a seated position to start off with. Now just come into a comfortable seated position and rest your hands on your knees. Lifting up your rib cage gently, both the front and the back of the rib cage, feeling the tummy tighten and relaxing your shoulders downwards. Drop the chin slightly and move the head from side to side, releasing any tension in the back of the neck, and then just lifting your head to a comfortable position. We're going to have eyes opened or closed, and I want you to start to breathe into your belly. You can place one hand on the belly, and that will help you to breathe down deep into your lungs. So breathe into your hand, and as you breathe out, your belly will draw in. And as you breathe in, your belly will fill up your hand. Now let's lower our hands down. Go to breathe in through the count. For the count of 3, breathe in, 2 and 3, and breathe out, 2 and 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, and breathe out, 2, 3. Do that 2 more times and count in your own mind, keeping a nice smooth move with your arms up and down. Now remember to breathe in, opening up the rib cage, and breathe out, lowering the hands down. Now we're going to extend those legs forward. Bring the toes towards you. Now lift up the rib cage front and back so your spine is nice and tall and the tummy tightens. Make sure the knees are soft so we don't work too much into our hips. Now let's lift the shoulders up, roll them back and down, and take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up, palms forward, breathe out, and just tap your hands on your shins and then breathe in. Lift up nice and tall, breathe out, tap the hands down, breathe in. Lifting up tall and breathe out, bring the hands down. Now you don't need to go to your biggest stretch for your first one. Pull the tummy in, relax down a little bit more. Chin to chest, lengthen through the back of the legs. Let's breathe around the belly and the lower back. Now let's take a walk with our hands up our legs and come back into that lovely tall seated position again. We've got a side stretch, so take your right hand out to the right side and lift your left arm up and over. Now you can extend your arm if that's a comfortable position, but do draw your shoulders down. You can bend your elbows, back of palm facing forward, or take the hand behind the head. Draw the elbow back and open the chest a little more, and if it's comfortable, go down to your elbow. But make sure both sit bones are on the floor. Okay, and lifting up, let's place the other hand down, lift the arm up, extend the arm. Go back to the same position with your hand. So if it was behind your head, bring it back there. Bring the elbow back. Pick a head position that suits you, gazing towards your elbow, down to thighs or down to fingers of your opposite hand. If it's comfortable, come down to your elbow, keep the chest open. Breathe into the ribs that are open. And let's lift up again. This time I'm going to twist. So take your left hand outside your right knee and then take your right hand behind your back. Turn it into a fist and lift up the spine nice and tall. Pull the waist in and twist, looking just in front of your shoulder. Now if you can, take your back hand, wrap it around your back and your front arm around your waist. So now you're relying upon your back strength to hold you up. And then release. Beautiful. Let's try that on the other side. So taking your right hand outside your knee, left hand behind the back. Let's turn it into a fist. Draw the spine up tall and move your head just to look in front of the shoulder. And again, if you can, go to level 2, arm behind the back, arm around the waist, nice firm waist. Keep holding your spine up. And then bring ourselves forward. And we're going to bring the legs out to the side and come up onto our hands and knees in a cat position. Wrists are under the shoulders and knees under hips. So let's breathe in, cat arch, draw the navel up, stretch between the shoulder blades, tighten the tummy, lengthen the arms, and breathe out, cow pose. Breathe in, cat arch. Now press the tops of the feet firmly down, squeezing your buttocks, tighten your tummy, and breathe out. Let's do that 3 more times. Working at the pace of your breath. And last one. Now we're going to do an elephant, so let's tuck the toes under, tighten the tummy, draw shoulders to hips, and just lift the knees a little bit off the floor. So working strongly into the waist. Take 3 breaths here. Lifting up into down dog. Let's walk the heels up and down, stretching the ankles and the calves. Now let's press the right heel down, stretch the ankle while we lift the left heel up. Let's change legs, press the other heel down. Okay, beautiful. Rise up on the balls of the feet and let's come down to knees. And we're going to do a shoulder stretch, and we're going to add on and make it a balance. So let's breathe in, lift the right arm up, reach up to the ceiling, big twist, and breathe out. Thread it under the left arm, temple down to the floor. Now let's take that right leg, or the left leg, and extend it back, toes on the floor, nice straight leg. And then, if you can, for level 3, lift your hand up to the ceiling, stretch your fingers. That's it, beautiful. Keep yourself nice and balanced on the shoulder. Let's take 3 breaths here. Bring the hand down to the floor and the knee down. Push yourself back up into a cat position. Let's try that on the other side. Lift the left hand up, nice big stretch in the chest, and breathe out. Thread the arm underneath and shoulder to floor, temple down. Level 2, sliding the right foot back, toes are on the floor, push through the heels so you can feel the length in the back of the leg. When you're nice and balanced, lift your other hand up to the ceiling, keep the chest open, shoulders drawn downwards, and let's take 3 breaths here. Bring your hand down to the floor, knee down, and lift back up into the cat position. All right, tuck the toes under, come into plank, stretch those fingers out. Now squeeze your buttocks together, tighten the tummy. If you need to have your knees on the floor, put them down on the floor. Now flatten the shoulder blades, so draw the shoulders to hips, flatten them on the back. So the mid-back draws down and the shoulder blades draw towards the hips. Look in front of your fingertips and take 3 breaths. Now lower the knees down, come into child's pose, so toes together, knees wide, and let's extend those arms forward. Give them a nice stretch. Breathe into the back. Right from the shoulder blades, right down to the lower back. And let's walk our hands towards our knees. Now we're going to lift the arms up. This is our hero pose. If this is a little bit strong for the tops of your feet, just lift up and make sure you're squeezing your buttocks and keeping your tummy tight. Okay, so we're going to bring our arms out nice and wide. Hug the shoulder blades together. Drop them down, lift the rib cage a little bit, keep the tummy drawn in. We don't want to be arching in the back. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Twist. Look at your back thumb. Breathe in forward and breathe out to twist. Breathe in forwards, breathe out, twist. One more time, breathe in forwards and breathe out, twist. Beautiful. Bring yourself back to the hero pose position, facing forwards. Okay, so let's bring the hands on the floor, tuck the toes under, and we're going to sit on the heels again. If there's too much pressure on the tops of your toes, lift up to a kneeling position. This time we're going to bring the hands across the chest. So we're going to breathe in, lift the elbows up just as high as they can go, but keep your shoulders down. Breathe out, lower the elbows down. Let's do that again. Breathe in, lift the elbows up, and breathe out, lower them down. Change the cross of the hands. Breathe in, lift the elbows, and breathe out to lower. Let's do that one more time. Lower your hands down and flatten the tops of your feet. We're going to do an arm leg extension now. So you can lift your feet up, give them a nice big rotation, go in either direction and place them down. So alternative arm leg extension. So let's breathe in, reach your arm and leg forward and back, tighten your tummy and breathe out, hand and knee to floor. Let's do that again. Breathe in, big stretch and breathe out, lower the hand and knee down. Let's try that 2 more times. Or 3 more times. We want to do 4 each side. So continue in your own time, don't rush. Focus on reaching and breathing out. So get that breath and the hand moving. Last one. Now this time, extend the right arm, left leg. Breathe in, breathe out, arm and leg diagonal. Breathe in, arm and leg forward and back. Breathe out, hand and knee down. Change sides. Breathe in, reach forward and back. Breathe out, arm and leg diagonal. Breathe in, arm and leg forward and back. Breathe out, hand and knee down. One more time each side. Breathe in, extend, breathe out, diagonal. Breathe in, forward and back. Breathe out, hand and knee down. Breathe in, changing arm and leg. Breathe out, diagonal. Breathe in and breathe out, hand and knee to floor. Let's come into a child's pose again. Keep the arms extended. Breathe into your back. Keep your elbows lifted if you can, or lower them to the floor if that's too uncomfortable. Make sure the shoulders are drawn away from ears and the shoulder blades are flat on the back. Tighten your tummy and lift it up a little towards your spine. Okay, lifting up into a cat and then tuck the toes under, come into plank. Now we're going to breathe in, breathe out, plank to floor or just knees and chest down. Slide your elbows forward for Sphinx. Stretch your fingers out and make sure you're pressing your pubic bone in the floor and squeezing your buttocks together. Legs hip width apart, and then lifting up the rib cage, draw the shoulders down and widen the chest. So the shoulder blades feel like they're flattening on the back. Lift the chin if you can, stretching the neck, and draw the elbows to hips and rib cage towards the fingers. Create tension in the front of your body and breathe. Breathe into the front of the body. You can lower your chin down if that's a little bit uncomfortable for you. Pick a position that your head is happy with. Then lower yourself down and let's bring our hands to rest on our lower back. We've got a locust, so press the hips down, squeeze the buttocks together. Lift the torso up, draw the shoulders down towards the hips. Now, you can look forward or tuck your chin in. Now you can also get a level 2 with your arms by pressing the palms together, linking the fingers and lifting the arms up. Hug the shoulder blades together, chest will lift up more and you can reach down towards your feet. So head position, look forward or tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Take 3 breaths here. Now release the hands, hands under chest, cobra. Tuck those toes together, knees nice and wide, and let's stretch the arms forward. Now, in this position, we're going to take a side stretch. So walking your hands over to the right side, as far as you can, lining your chest up with your knee if possible, then taking the left hand on top of the right, and that will help to stretch the side of your body. So nice big stretch in the rib cage. Now let's walk the hands to the center again and to the other side. And take your right hand on top of your left. Let's breathe into the side of the body. Now walk your hands back to the center again and let's lift up into a cat pose, then a down dog. Now we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. Have the heels under hips. Now this is a lovely forward bending position, and this is one of the ones that is going to help lower our blood pressure. Pull the tummy up, let the body hang down. Try and get the weight out of your heels because you tend to have the hips too far back and the butt pushes out, so you get this hips behind the heels. So you want to soften the knees and move the body forward. Tighten the tummy, let the upper body hang down. Have that weight evenly through your feet, and then just move the torso and the arms from side to side, chin to chest. Now it's quite relaxing as long as you found a position where you can feel as if your whole upper body is just hanging down loosely. You can even have your arms hanging to the floor if it helps. Just something that makes you feel relaxed and nice and stretchy around the back. Let's place the hands on the shins now. Breathe in and breathe out. Tighten the tummy and let's slide the hands up the legs. Squeeze the buttocks. Point the tail to the floor. Lift shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards. Beautiful. Give yourselves a shake. Now we're going to do some chair pose and some wide leg stances. So let's bring our feet together. Now remember that you want your feet slightly apart so the bones are not rubbing, and then lifting up the rib cage, so both front and back of the rib cage. Squeeze your buttocks, feel the length through the spine. Lift the shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards, and then lift the crown of the head up to the ceiling, so have your chin slightly dropped. Crown of the head to the ceiling, and you can feel a nice lengthening of the spine. Okay, stretch the fingers out, reach them to the floor. The head must be facing forward, but you can close your eyes or gaze downwards. So let's take 3 breaths into the rib cage, front and back. Now chair pose, breathe in, lift your arms up and breathe out. Chair pose, hands to chest in prayer. We're going to twist to the right first, so rest your elbow on your knee for level 1. Check that the knees are even. We don't want one knee pushing in front of the other. We need to keep them nice and even. Tummy tight, look sideways. If you want to, level 2, elbow outside the knee, stronger twist. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then forward fold, let that upper body hang down again, nice and relaxed. Again, helping that blood pressure, loosening up around the shoulders. Just feeling that sense of relax as you drop your body forward. Swing the arms back now, breathe in, lift the arms up, wide prayer, and breathe out, hands to chest. This time, left elbow on the right elbow on the left knee. So level 1, check the knees are still nice and even. We don't want this right knee pushing forward. So you need to keep them nice and even, pressed together, hands stacked over your ankles. Level 2, elbow outside the knee, tighten the tummy and twist. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then forwards. Okay, place your hands on the floor and step your left foot back. Walk your hands around to face the front. And we're going to place one hand on the floor, just under the chest. Now, make sure your hands are directly under your chest and the weight is evenly through your feet and your hands. Okay, let's take the left hand under the chest, lift the right hand up. Looking sideways or up at your thumb or down to the floor. Now make sure you're not pushing your hips back. You want to make sure the heels are in line with the hips, so you should have even weight through your hand and your feet. Changing hands, lift the other hand up, twist the other direction. Then lower your hand down. We're going to point our fingers underneath our legs and take a walk with the hands. Now you can place your head on the floor if you have enough stretch in your legs. Otherwise, leave your head off the floor, but have your hands at shoulder width apart. Lift the hips up, chin to chest, gazing directly under your legs. Take the weight out of the heels. Move the weight forward into your foot. So you need to move your hips a little bit forward. Tighten the tummy. Lengthen through the legs, so you've got a big stretch in the backs of legs and around the shoulder blades. Okay, walk your hands forward, and now we're going to walk the hands around to the front foot, pivot your feet, lower the back knee down. Bring it sideways and sit down. Now we're coming into an alert pose, so I'll just move myself over here a little bit and then bring the other leg across. Now, if you're one of those people that has any knee issues or it's just too uncomfortable, extend one leg forward and have your knee lined up with the other. Okay, so if you can actually join me in an alert pose, you're lifting your hips up, lining the knees up. Ideally, feet are in line. So we should be sitting evenly on our sit bones, and we're just going to lean forward. So let's breathe in, lift up the rib cage, tummy in, and just lean forward. So we're stretching into the hips, so it's quite a strong stretch. So if your leg is extended, you're still going to get quite a strong stretch. And not only in your hip, but also in the back of your legs. So we're just working a little bit into the sciatic nerve area, so it can be a little sensitive. Take 3 breaths around your rib cage. and lifting up. Lovely. Now, this is the tricky bit where we try and bring the outer edge of our feet on the mat, lift up, and we're going to circle our body around so our legs will change. They'll be exactly in the right position to stretch the other side. Now, if that's a little bit complicated, just change your legs over. All right, so lift the hips up, line those knees up as much as you can. And we're going to lean forward again. So let's breathe in, lift up tall, breathe out. Walk your hands forward. Let's take a stretch in those hips. Nice big breaths around the rib cage. Now lifting up. We're going to swing that leg around, come back onto hands and knees and into down dog. Now with our down dog, we're going to do a dog twist. So we're going to take the right hand and hold the outer edge of the left knee. Now if you can, slide your hand down to your ankle, pull your tummy and hips up, look under your arm. And let's breathe. Now you want to have the weight evenly through your hands and your feet. So you don't want to be resting too much weight on one arm. If this is not comfortable for you, just do a down dog. Now we're going to try the other side. So taking that left hand on the knee and then slide it down to the ankle, looking under the arm. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then release. So bring that hand down to the floor again. And now we're going to crouch. Look between those thumbs. You can walk your feet between your hands. You can lunge your feet or take a little jump. And come to that lovely forward fold position again. Helping to lower that blood pressure, flat back. Then a forward fold and a sun salute, lift up. Breathe out, hands down to sides. And let's pause here for a moment. Okay, so now we're going to stand up in mountain pose and go into a down dog. So let's stand up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in for flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and let's step straight back into down dog. Now from here, we're going to step our feet together and come into 3-leg dog. So lift your right leg up, squeeze your buttocks, tighten your tummy, bring your chest towards your thighs. Breathe in and breathe out. Lunge your foot forward. Now have a look at your feet. Make sure that one foot is lined up with one hip, the other foot up is lined up with the other hip with toes forward. Sweep the arms back, lift them up into high lunge, wide prayer. And roll the shoulders back and draw them downwards. Lift the chin up. Take 3 breaths here. Now you can draw the arms back if they wish to go back. If it's not so comfortable, just bring them to a better position. Breathe down into the belly. Big breath in, sweep the arms back, bring the body weight forward. You can rest your chest on your thigh or just a little above, then lower the hands down to the floor and let's lift the back foot up. Now we want to go into a 1-legged handstand, so if you are able to bring your back leg to the ceiling, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, any height will do. Chin to chest, gaze at your knee. You can walk your hands back in line with your toes, and you can even take the same hand as your leg and place it on your hand on the ankle, and then the other hand, so you're just balancing on one foot. Okay, beautiful. Let's place those hands down on the floor again. Lower the back foot down and lower your back knee to the floor. Flatten the foot, walk the hands back to knees and hips. Now lift your toes up, tighten the tummy and draw the shoulders down, lean forward. You can also put your hands on the floor if that's more comfortable and easier for you. Keep this knee soft. That doesn't mean a big bend in it, it just means it's a little bit loose. We don't lock into joints. Breathe around your rib cage and down to your belly if you can. Now walk the hands forward, place the foot down, so you're moving your hips forward, so your ankle is in line with your knee, and then take your right hand inside your right foot, toe heel the foot a little wider, and then if you can, lower yourself to your elbows. If not, just give your arms a little bend, bring the chin to chest to lengthen through the back of the neck. Take 3 big breaths around your belly and your hip. And lifting up, take your hand outside your foot and toe heel that foot back in. And then bring your front foot back. So you're in a cat, tuck the toes under, come into down dog, lifting back up again. And now just move your hips and your shoulders side to side, nice and loose around hips and shoulders. Then step your feet together for 3-leg dog. Lift your left leg up, squeeze your buttocks, toes point to the ceiling, bring your chest towards your thighs. Now lunge your foot between your hands, and we're going to check that our feet are a hip width apart. Sweep the arms back, lift them up, rolling the shoulders back and draw them downwards. Okay, again, picking that arm position you can manage, drawing shoulders downwards, lifting the chin slightly, taking 3 big breaths right down to the belly. Now breathe in, breathe out, sweep the arms back, just keeping your chest lifted a little bit off your thigh, and then place your hands down on the floor, lift your back foot up, and let's gaze at the floor, and then chin to chest, look at your knee, walk your fingers in line with your toes, so that's a level 2 position. Level 3 is one hand on the ankle and then the other hand on the ankle, standing on one foot if you can. That's it, beautiful. And let's keep going just a little bit longer. And place your hands down, place your foot down. Now let's lower that back knee down, flatten the top of the foot. Walk your hands up your leg. And let's bring the toes up. So hands on hips, just have your heel and your knee hip width apart, and you'll have better balance that way. Okay, so let's breathe in, lengthen through the spine, pull the tummy in, breathe out and bend forward. If it's more comfortable, hands on the floor and head to knee. Breathing around your rib cage, front and back. Now let's walk our hands forwards. So we've got that big stretch in the hip again, and the knee lined up with the ankle. Left hand inside the foot, toe heel your foot a bit wider. Okay, let's bend the elbows, go back to the same position you stretched in last time. Chin to chest, let the back of the neck stretch. Let's take big breaths down to the belly. Okay, lifting up, take your hand outside your foot, toe heel the foot back in line with your hip, and let's take that front foot back into a cat position, then a down dog. And now this time we're going to crouch, look between our thumbs, and you can walk, step, or take a little jump forward, landing with bent knees and coming to flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and a big breath in, sun salute. Lift right up, stretching through the rib cage, and breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a little bit of balancing. Lower the hands down. And keeping your mind focused on what you're doing today is also going to be a good way to help lower your blood pressure and calm your body. Alright, so today we're going to do 2 balances. The first one is a star pose followed by a pigeon pose. So we're going to move from one to the other. If you need to put your foot down between the balances, please do. Alright, so let's take the right foot out to the side and just extend your leg, pointing through the ball of the big foot. Now soften your standing leg and bring your arms out to the sides. This time lift the front of the ribcage up, tummy firm, shoulders drop down, chest opens. Now let's bend the standing knee and lift the right leg up. So here we are in our beautiful balance. Stretch your fingers out. Really try to get a stretch through the palms of your hands. Take 3 big breaths. Expand your ribcage with the breath. Now float your hands into chest at prayer and ankle on the knee. Tighten your tummy, push your hips back. Now the more you can push your hips back, the bigger the stretch around your buttocks and the inner thigh. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then lifting up, circle the arms up and over, kick your leg forward and float your hands and your leg down. Let's try that on the other side. Step your left foot out to the side and place your foot diagonally. Point, extend the leg by pointing through the ball of the foot onto the floor. Bring your arms out to sides. Now lift the front of the ribcage up, shoulders drop, tummy draws in. Bend the standing knee, lift the leg up. That's it, we should find that perfect balance position. Stretch the fingers out and take 3 breaths around your rib cage. Now bring your hands to chest, ankle to knee. Pull the tummy in, push the hips back. Let's take 3 breaths in this position. Arms up, kick the legs forward and float the hands and the foot down. Beautiful. Now we're going to do some standing strength. So we'll turn sideways again, long ways on your mat. And let's bend the knees. Now we're going to lift the right foot up and straighten the left leg. So the knee is lifted hip height. And then we're going to breathe out, stretch that leg back, place it down. We've got a warrior 2. So lift the arms up and over. Have the front knee lined up with the ankle. Squeeze your buttocks together, push the hips forward and push the front knee out sideways so you're engaging your inner thigh. Shoulders are down. Look over your front middle finger. Take 3 breaths here. Right down to the belly. Now straighten your front leg, keep your buttocks firm, breathe in, reach forward into triangle. So you should feel your inner thigh stretching at this point if your butt is squeezing together. And then bring your arms into position, shoulders head towards hips. Open the chest up so we're stacking shoulder blades on top of each other. Now if you're quite a stretchy person, can reach the floor, take your hand on the other side of your leg. Now, you should be perfectly balanced if your hips are in the right position. It can be wobbly if your hips are pushing out. It won't be quite so easy. All right, let's take 3 breaths here. Now, bend your front knee and you can place your hand, keep your hand down on the floor. Now, this is the side angle pose. If it's too strong for you to have your hand on the floor, just bring your elbow up to your knee. Let's be in this position. Otherwise, joining me at the level 2 position. Now, here's a lovely exercise to help lower your blood pressure. Take your top hand, place it behind your back for a half bind. The full bind is even better. So reaching your hands under your leg and let's slide them over the buttocks. Press the shoulder into the knee, looking sideways. Take 3 breaths here. Release the hands, push through your front foot, come into Proud Warrior. Shoulders down, gaze at your palm. 3 big breaths around the rib cage. And bring your hand down to your hip. Heel toe your back foot a bit closer so you can rotate both hips forward, then step forward. And we're going to do that on the other side. So let's bend the knees, tighten the tummy, lift the foot, and straighten the standing leg. Then lunge it back, swing your arms up and over, Warrior 2. Squeeze your buttocks, hips push forward. Inner thigh is switched on. And turn and gaze over your front middle finger. Take 3 big breaths. Now straighten your front leg and breathe in, reach forward. Now keep that tail tucked under, squeeze your buttocks together, reach forward, get the inner thigh working. That's it, found it, and into triangle. Now again, if you're one of those people who can bring your fingers to the floor, keep your buttocks firm, you can take your hand out to the other side. Now let's bend the front knee, hand goes to the floor. Now if your hand was on the other side, it can stay on the other side. You don't need to move it into the front position. And then either one is quite comfortable. And then take the hand behind the back for half bind. This is how lowering our blood pressure position, or come into a full bind. And then release your hands. Beautiful. Placing them down, we're going to lift up into our Proud Warrior. Breathing into the belly. And then lower the hand to hip. Let's heel toe the foot a bit closer. Pivot the hips forward and step forward. Now we're going to come down to the floor now. So bring your hands to your sides. Nice firm buttocks, sun salute. Breathe in, reach up, breathe out, forward fold. Now we're just going to take one foot behind the other and take a seat. Now from here we're going to take a very deep breath in, palms together, breathe out, draw the navel in, and let's roll the back down to the floor. Otherwise just lie down anywhere you can. Now we're going to bring our feet to the end position and then bring the knees to the chest one at a time and lift the legs up. Now you can hold the backs of legs if you want to, or tighten the tummy, push through the heels, make sure that the tummy's nice and firm and flat, and then bring your arms over your head, hold your elbows. Now if that's not comfortable, pick a comfortable arm position for you. Take 3 breaths. And then change your arms over, holding different elbows this time. Now let's bring our arms by our sides and place the feet on the floor. We have a ramp. Now this is also very good for lowering blood pressure. So draw the navel to spine, flatten the lower back, squeezing the buttocks. Peel the vertebrae off the floor just one at a time. So knees, hips and shoulders are lined up. Adjust your head so it's comfortable and your chin is towards your chest. Stay in this position or join me in a bridge pose by clasping the hands under the back. Roll up onto shoulders so they're hugging quite closely. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Lift the hips a bit higher and bring the little fingers down to the floor. Take 3 big breaths into the belly. Now flatten your shoulder blades. Bring your arms out nice and wide. Pull the tummy in, round the back out. Lower the spine down, one vertebrae at a time. And let that back arch just a little. Okay, so let's bring the knees to the chest, give them a hug, and just rock from side to side gently. Let's spend a moment stretching our hips. So take one ankle on the knee, push that knee away with the same hand for level 1. Level 2, hands behind the opposite thigh. Draw the navel down to help support the lower back. You can also bring your hands around your knee. Breathe around your rib cage. Now change the cross of the legs. Stretch the other side in the same way. Then release. Bring our feet to butterfly pose in the air if you can. So soles of feet together, hold the ankles, draw the knees away from the chest. Then you can release the ankles, place the feet on the floor, butterfly pose. If that's not comfortable for you, have your feet wide and the knees dropped in together. Let's press the elbows into the floor, lift the back up, hug shoulder blades together, flutter the back down. Place left hand on heart center, right hand on belly. Lift your head up, tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck and place your head down. Let's take 3 breaths into the belly. Let's try 2 more breaths. Now if you'd like to stay in this position you can, otherwise extending your legs in a nice relaxation position, which is also very good for helping you to lower that blood pressure down. So this is where we're going to encourage our body to just go into a deep relaxation. So let's roll the legs outwards and inwards, and then on the last roll, drop them outwards. So you can relax into your hips. And you can place your hands on the floor, palms up. Helps to keep your shoulder blades flat, or just pick any arm position. Now if you want to enjoy a longer relaxation, I'll turn off the video and rest for 10 to 20 minutes, however long you like. Then turn the video off and join me to finish, or turn it on to join me to finish. Okay, let's move the fingers and toes and bring the breath down to the belly. Move the fingers and the toes. Now let's walk our feet up to the end position and roll to the side. Resting the head on the arm. And then lifting yourself up to a seated position. Resting hands on knees or in the lap. And just lifting the rib cage up gently, relaxing the shoulders down. Chin to chest, and just move your head 2 or 3 times to each side. Let's lift the hands above the head in prayer. And bring your hands down to chest, thumbs to heart center. Now let's breathe into our belly, into the ribs, into collarbone and back, and breathe out. And again, breathing into your belly, rib cage, collarbones and back, and breathe out. Let's take one more deep breath in and breathing out. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling quite calm and relaxed, and that wonderful sense of well-being is a sensation you're feeling right now. If you like the video, press like and make a comment. If you want regular updates, press subscribe now. Have a wonderful day.